Hello students, once again welcome to EVS 2 period. Let us begin our day with a beautiful thought. Practice like you have never won. Perform like you have never lost. I am repeating. Practice like you have never won. Perform like you have never lost. So we have seen up to now about the dinosaurs. We have seen the concept of evolution. We know now that evolution is nothing but gradual and continuous change, and the animals who can go through the change are able to survive. Those who are adapting, that means those who are able to accept the changes, they are surviving in the process of evolution, and those who can't, they have become extinct. We have also seen that some of the remains of dinosaurs are found, which we can say evolved into today's bird. Now let us see the stages of evolution in animal. Through the picture, through the various PPTs in the previous period, we have seen how there were different stages of evolution in animal. Now we will go through page number 16, 4.2, the stages of evolution of animals. We have learnt in the previous lesson that life on earth began with unicellular organism known as protozoa. These unicellular organisms gave rise to multicellular living things. The multicellular organism evolved gradually and various classes of plants and animals came into being. This we have already seen, that how a tiny unicellular protozoa, then multicellular, then slowly and steadily evolution took place. The gradual difference was there, then the amphibians were there, then animals on the land, slowly they climbed the tree, then we were having various mammals, then apes, and then finally the man. Till today's man, we have seen the stages of evolution. Now the following are the stages of evolution of animals. Kingdom Animalia, divided into two major groups. First is invertebrates and second is vertebrates. So first let us see what is invertebrate. An invertebrate is an animal without a backbone. Those who don't have the backbone. About 98% of the animals are invertebrate. So these are the animals, they are not having the backbone. These are called invertebrates. Example: worm, snail, cockroach, then scorpio. So these are the invertebrates. Now, what are vertebrates then? So, vertebrates are animals that have backbone. So, here also the vertebrates are divided into various parts. They are fishes. So, all kind of fishes which we see in the aquatic world, all those comes under vertebrate. Second, amphibians. So, amphibians are the animals who live in water also and on land also. Those are amphibians. Example: frog, salamander. Third, reptiles. Reptiles means those who are crawling. The animals who crawl are called reptiles. Crocodile, snake are the examples. Then birds. So all the birds also comes under the category of vertebrates. That means they are having the backbone. Fourth, mammals. So mammals includes cow, buffalo, dog, horse, and we humans also. So we comes under the category of vertebrates. If you touch from your neck at the back and you go below, you can feel the touch of the spines. These are the bones, backbone in our body. So in this way, the categories of animal are divided into two main, that is invertebrate and vertebrate. All animals, those who don't have backbone, are called invertebrates. and those who are having backbone are called vertebrates. And vertebrates are divided into aquatic, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. All these comes under the vertebrates. Now mammals. Mammals are the most evolved animals among vertebrates. Evolved means mammals have gone through the drastic change in evolution. That means they are able to adapt themselves according to the atmospheric changes and the other changes that took place. So they are more evolved. The following are the characteristic of most of the mammals. So first characteristic is growth of the baby in the mother's womb for some time before birth. So we are all were in our mother's womb. आपण आईच्या पोटात असतो ना जन्माच्या आधी. So mammals, they are in the womb of the mother, and the time differs from animal to animal. So it will be from 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. We humans require 9 months. सो 9 महिने आपण आधी आईच्या पोटात असतो, तिथे आपली वाढ होते पूर्णपणे आणि मग आपला जन्म होतो. And the second characteristic is the baby is fed on the mother's milk for some time after birth. So you might have seen your brother and sisters or the small babies, they don't have teeth, they are unable to stand or even they are unable to hold their neck. So they are dependent on their mother for food also. They don't have teeth, they can't eat anything, so they are fed on the mother's milk for some time immediately after the birth. So this is also characteristic of mammals. Now platypus and some species of anteater are exception to it. Exception to what? These two characteristics of mammals. They are considered mammals because even though they lay eggs, they suckle their young ones. Now these animals, the examples which are given, platypus and anteater, some of the species of anteater, they are laying the eggs, but they suckle their young ones, means the baby one or the young ones are fed on the mother's milk, so they are considered as mammal. Otherwise mammals directly give birth to the young ones, they don't lay eggs, but these two animals, even they are laying eggs and also feeding their baby on the mother's milk. That's why they are categorized as mammals. Now let us see the pictures of platypus. So it is having mouth like a beak. असं वाटतं ना की चोचच आहे त्यांना. Here the platypus, in the second picture, it is enjoying the water, it is swimming in the water. Now the anteater. So anteater, it is having a long cylindrical face and a very long tongue because they eat the ant, and you know how the ant hills are. वारूळ माहिती आहे ना, ant hill, they are having very narrow opening, so this animal won't be able to reach to the ants. So it is having a long tongue, which with the help of which he can eat the ants. As compared to the face, you can see the whole body is quite huge. The legs are also quite huge and thick as compared to the face and tongue. So these are the pictures of anteater. Now apes. Apes are somewhat like humans in appearance. They mostly live on trees. Those species of apes which continue to live on trees retain their original ape-like form. However, in grassland, some ape species were forced to move around on the ground. These species evolved gradually and in time gave rise to human species. This happened first on the African continent. The first human species is called the primitive man. Primitive means the first. In the next lesson, we shall learn more about the evolution of human species. Students, you might have heard or you might be knowing that our ancestors were monkey, we say. That means ancestor means not your grandparents or great great grandparents, but it means that we are evolved from the apes. Now, if we compare the ape with the human, we are having many physical and the internal physical features same. We also have the same face, eyes, one nose, mouth, ears. We also up to some extent use the hands like them also. So we are evolved from these apes. See the picture here, one is of the ape and other is of the primitive man. So there is quite a similarity in the apes and first man, which is called primitive man. It was first found in the continent of Africa. So it was believed, it is said that this changes, the gradual process of ape to human, first took place in African continent. Now we all know that apes lives on tree. Previously human also used to live in the same way. But as he was moving in search of food for security, he was moving to various parts of the world. So geographically we know very well our earth is not uniform throughout. Somewhere there are trees, somewhere there are thick forests, somewhere there is water, sometimes there are hills, sometimes there are grassland. So those animals, those apes who continued to live on the trees, they retained, they were in the original form. Till today we have the monkeys. All monkeys have not changed into humans. So we are having various types of monkeys also, apes also. And those who are forced to live on the ground, means because they moved to the grassland and the areas where trees were not available, they were living on the ground. Slowly and steadily they adapted the situation, they evolved themselves, and the first man was primitive man. In this way we humans came into existence. Ape and the primitive man, here you can compare in the picture the similarity and the differences. It is just for information, so once we will read it. In the year 1859, Charles Darwin proposed his theory of evolution in his book on the origin of species. Before Darwin, the scientist Carl Linnaeus has introduced his method of classifying animals. He had expressed the opinion that going off by the structure of the body, human species and some ape species appear to be related. In his first book, Darwin had not expressed any definite opinion about this relationship. In 1871, he published his second book, The Descent of Men. In his book, he drew attention to the fact that even though humans do not have tail, the last bone of their spine is a vestige of a tail. Now we have stopped using the tail, there was no use. So in generation after generation in the process of evolution, we have dropped the tail. Previously also I have told you how we the hair on our body also have extinct. We don't have tail also. Like some of the species of animals, we don't have any sort of horns also. He also noted that some other non-functional and unnecessary structure in human body, such as the wisdom teeth, are indicators of the process of evolution. Now wisdom teeth you already know, we have learnt a poem about the teeth in standard third, second or third I guess, and there we have talked about the wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth are the pair of teeth which grow in the later ages. So when you are young, you have no teeth when you are born. Later on, the teeth are seen. Again, when you reach the age of 7 to 10, the teeth fall down. Those are called milk teeth, and you are having the new set of teeth. But these wisdom teeth, it is only grown after the age of 35 to 40. That's why it is called the wisdom teeth, ज्याला आपण म्हणतो अक्कल दाढ, आता अक्कल आली गमतीत म्हणतो आपण. सो धिस विजडम teeth also indicate the process of evolution. Means like other teeth, they are not coming immediately, but slowly and steadily when you reach that specific age, then only then those teeth are seen. He accepted the interference that humans had evolved from tailless ape like the gorilla and the chimpanzee that lived in the jungles of Africa. So there is a similarity. The picture which I have shown of primitive man and the gorilla, they have the certain similar characteristics. However, no evidence had been found till then in support of his theory. The necessary evidence became available only in the 20th century. So, when he wrote this book, the necessary evidence proofs were not there. What he was saying, that we are the descendants of apes, especially gorilla and chimpanzee. But later on the studies were made, it was continued, and in 20th century we got the proof of it. So in this way we are the generation and next generation, or the we are the part and parcel of the process of evolution. We have evolved from the ape to today's day human, and still this evolution is going on. So in this way, whatever things we are not using, it will extinct. So students, read the lesson 2-3 times carefully. In the next period we will see the question answers. Thank you.